The never-realized cinematic adaptation of Frank Herbert's Dune by Alejandro Jodorowsky continues to intrigue Dune fans worldwide, largely due to the eclectic and visionary artists associated with the project. Among the spiritual warriors enlisted by Jodorowsky was the iconic Swiss artist H.R. Giger, who has garnered international acclaim for his groundbreaking work on Ridley Scott's Alien. H.R. Giger's visual design work, featuring his unique and innovative biomechanical art style, won him an Academy Award and established his legacy within the genre of science fiction. In this video, I'd like to explore H.R. Giger's work on Jodorowsky's Dune and how his vision added a new depth of horror and intrigue to Frank Herbert's fascinating universe. After having been shown Giger's work, Salvador Dali introduced the Swiss artist to Jodorowsky in Paris. The Chilean-French filmmaker instantly recognized something special in Giger's art. In December of 1975, a pivotal moment in the pre-production phase of Jodorowsky's vision of Dune occurred when he presented H.R. Giger with the initial studies for the epic story. The project was already teeming with creativity, as 4 other science fiction artists had immersed themselves in the creation of intricate designs for spaceships, satellites, and expansive planetary landscapes. As Giger recalled the encounter, he found photocopies of some of his works, presumably chosen for their potential relevance to the film, casually displayed for his perusal. Jodorowsky described Giger's work as sick art and intended for the artist to function as the architect of evil, translating his dark, surrealist visions into tangible models for the film's scenery. Jodorowsky's proposal to Giger was both enticing and challenging. The director envisioned Giger bringing forth his unique aesthetic to not just any set piece, but an entire planet, Getty Prime, the homeworld of the villains of Dune, the malevolent House Harkonnen. The autonomy offered was unparalleled. Giger was to have carte blanche, largely unrestricted freedom in his artistic endeavors. This freedom extended beyond mere landscapes, encompassing the intricate facets of world-building, such as designing costumes, masks, and other props. The sketches Giger would produce were to be translated into 3-dimensional models, creating a tangible representation of his concepts, which would later be incorporated into live-action scenes with the film's actors. Giger described it as a planet that was ruled by evil, a place where black magic was practiced, aggressions were let loose, and intemperance and perversions were the order of the day. Giger, with his unique and dark style, felt right at home. The only stipulation he was given was that sex could not be shown, and he had to work as if the film was being made for children. This directive was influenced by Jodorowsky's frustration over prior film censorship. Despite these restrictions, Giger was exhilarated by the project, especially knowing that a dedicated team of 30 specialists stood ready to bring his visionary concepts to cinematic life. Upon receiving the script and returning to Switzerland, Giger was asked by Jodorowsky's assistant to design a castle for the film and present it in Paris for review. In 1976, Giger immersed himself in the creation of the Harkonnen Castle, crafting a series of intricate sketches detailing his vision for the fortress. The castle design envisioned a structure built on a hill made of decaying bones and excrement, perpetually deteriorating and swept away by unceasing storms. The castle's main structure was portrayed as an egg, mostly buried in the ground with only a fraction visible above the surface, reminiscent of the hidden depth of an iceberg. The ominous hill was ascended via a stairway lined with sentient impaling spears, giving it a gruesome and unwelcoming demeanor. The castle was surrounded by a gaping 70-meter-wide trench, and the body of the fortress was designed to swivel on a circular track. The castle's only connection to the outside was a single drawbridge. Notably, this bridge served as a one-way entrance, with its shark-toothed barbs designed to prevent retreat. In another sketch, Giger illustrated the drawbridge's deadly capability to crush its enemies, after which their bodies would be turned into fuel. It was Giger's intention that every visitor to the Harkonnen Castle would be a victim of material or spiritual exploitation. Whoever entered the castle would be cursed to remain there for the rest of their life, which in many cases only lasted a few seconds. Internally, the castle was a vast void of gothic emptiness where grotesque beings floated. Its deceptive outer fragility is supported by enormous vertical bone structures. A subsequent sketch depicted the castle's defense mechanism. Opposite its entrance, an ejector system occasionally expelled large amounts of charred remains, creating a spectacle of fire and thunder. The head of the castle was an immense defense apparatus equipped to fend off threats from the land and air. Its frontal face section, when lowered, revealed a fortified skull that emanated death. This skull housed a landing area for craft, and the entirety of the head could be elevated for targeting. The Harkonnens' upper and lower arms were ingeniously conceptualized as conversion plants and defense mechanisms respectively. All of these elements combine to result in a vision for the Harkonnen castle that stands as a masterful blend of gothic horror, biomechanical artistry, and symbolic depth, capturing the terrifying essence of a realm that thrived on exploitation and malevolence. After Alejandro Jodorowsky's attempt at adapting Dune failed, the film rights landed in the hands of producer Dino De Laurentiis. He had an interest in bringing Ridley Scott on board as the director and saw H.R. Giger as the potential production designer, especially given Giger's prior involvement with Jodorowsky's project. During the interim between these two film projects, Giger, with Connie DeFries, had been engrossed in developing a unique furniture line, initiated with a bed prototype that remained incomplete. However, with the resurgence of the Dune film project, Giger saw an opportunity to materialize his designs as the dark and foreboding Harkonnen furniture for the movie. Before the official contract was inked, Giger had finished 2 paintings for Dune. Unexpectedly, however, he learned from Ridley Scott that Dino De Laurentiis had passed the project to his daughter. While the film project's direction shifted, Giger's passion for his furniture did not wane. Self-financed and with Connie's expertise, Giger's furniture vision grew, encompassing not just the chair but also a table, a mirror frame, and a spacious armoire, creating a holistic environment that echoed the macabre and biomechanical spirit of his art. In a twist of fate, the Dune adaptation was ultimately realized in 1984 under the direction of David Lynch, excluding Giger's involvement. Upon hearing the news, Giger reached out to Lynch, sharing images of his Dune-inspired designs and furniture prototypes. However, Lynch declined his participation. At that point, Giger's designs had garnered massive attention due to his work on the movie Alien. Therefore, it's been speculated that Lynch declined the artist's involvement due to his fears that his distinctive style would overshadow his vision for the film. Sadly, even Lynch's vision for the 1984 project would not be realized, as studio interference forced him to deliver a film that he has since publicly disowned. Interestingly, in Denis Villeneuve's adaptation of Dune, some viewers couldn't help but see echoes of H.R. Giger in the depiction of Getty Prime. If true, this would be just one of several elements that Villeneuve subtly incorporated into the film, which appeared to be a nod to previous adaptations. At the end of the day, there's a palpable sense of loss within the Dune community as the dark and hauntingly beautiful potential of H.R. Giger's interpretation of Frank Herbert's masterpiece never graced the big screen. Giger, with his unparalleled prowess in melding the organic with the mechanical, could have given us a Dune universe brimming with nightmarish elegance. Yet even in this absence, there is a silver lining. The very fact that Giger's conceptual sketches, paintings, and furniture prototypes exist offers fans an intimate glimpse into what might have been. Armed with these pieces of art, admirers can journey to the universe of Dune with Giger's vision in mind, constructing their own mental movies that blend Herbert's legendarium with Giger's eerie aesthetic. While it's bittersweet that such a collaboration never reached fruition in film, our imagination, fueled by the Swiss artist's work, allows the chilling and otherworldly essence of H.R. Giger's Dune to live on. But I'm curious to know what you think of H.R. Giger's vision for Dune. Would you like to have seen Giger's interpretation of the Harkonnens come to life on screen? Or do you think it's best that things worked out the way they did? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe for more Dune and other sci-fi and fantasy news and lore. And if you're looking for other ways to show your appreciation, you can check out my Patreon page, where members get access to exclusive perks. Thank you all so much for your support, and as always, have a very nerdy day.